He knocked me over. I landed on the dog bowl.
This one's wife. The magic apricot tree. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. Has this one's wife re-entered writing once again, conjuring up a delightful children's story for the benefit of Archie and Lilibet and children around the world? After all, didn't she just delight children as a consequence of the bench of stench, with its ridiculous platitudes, which any child would have thought, I don't like this, where's Barney or the Hungry Caterpillar, or some Harry Potter? No, the magic apricot tree isn't a short story written by this one's wife that she's then going to sit under said apricot tree and read to you all on YouTube and then be downvoted considerably. Instead, it relates the magical properties that exist within the garden at Monty Shit Show. What's that? You're unfamiliar with the magic that takes place at Monty Shit Show? Surely not. Don't you know this is the place where joy is injected into everything? Your cup of tea is full of joy. Harry is injected full of joy, especially if Nacho is around. The grass is joyful. The trees scream joy up to the azure sky. It is a place where there are magical moments festooned around every corner. All you have to do is look for them. It is a place where all vegetables and fruit are available at the same time, irrespective of their ripening and harvest times elsewhere in the world. Yes, that's right. It's like some magical time warp, whereby, as a consequence, no doubt, of the magical powers of the benign fairy godmother, this one's wife, she has enabled all vegetables and fruit to be available to be harvested at the same time. It doesn't matter that in other places around the world that fruit isn't in season or those vegetables wouldn't be ready. No. You see, those other places don't have the joy, the magic, the magical moments, the green fingers that she has. But it goes further than that. Not only is the soil at Monty Shit Show so magical that it enables all of those vegetables and fruit to be available at the same time, but it also is such brilliant and magical soil that it doesn't cling to any of the vegetables. They are always clean. Thus, you can extract a carrot and it is as clean as if it's been bought from Whole Foods. That you can pick a raspberry from the raspberry bush and it is as firm and as succulent as if it were appearing in an advertisement for Marks and Spencer's. You can go and find any kind of vegetable you like, for instance some spring onions, and they're all of uniform length, magically already cut and soil free. This is how magical it is within this one's wife's world. But let us get on to the magic apricot tree. This one's wife, once again this weekend, took to Instagram. The narcissist utilizing social media for the purposes of assertion of control over the audience, the drawing of fuel, and the attainment of the residual benefit of facade management. And we were treated to a picture of this one's wife taken from the side. Once again, demonstrating her wearing an oversized white shirt, a hat which for some strange reason has to have her initial on it. After all, who else wears wide-brimmed hats in that residence? The gold jewellery on display as ever. But more importantly of all, we see this one's wife engaging in her gardening activities, her harvesting activity, as she plucks a ripe apricot from the apricot tree. What a wonderful photograph it is. The Californian sunshine gently dappling upon this living saint, showing her as she reaches up to the heavens to take hold of a succulent, juicy, perfectly formed apricot. My, Isn't she delightful? And thus she posts it on Instagram to ensure that people look upon it and say, "For isn't she beautiful and kind and talented? For she works within the garden and weaves her magic once again, as she undoubtedly takes that apricot which will find its way into some as ever apricot spread. Undoubtedly, the fevered mind of a sugar wonders, might I buy the apricot spread that contains the apricot from the magic apricot tree? Earnestly they gather up their shekels, selling their soul for the opportunity to purchase some of this sludge, with the hope, nay, expectation, that the magic apricot from the magic apricot tree has found its way into their particular apricot spread. But do you notice something on closer examination of this picture? I'm sure you do, for you are eagle-eyed. You'll notice that every single other apricot that appears on this tree isn't ripe. They're all green. From the bough above her to the branch beneath her, none of them are apricot-coloured. None of them have that light, soft, peachy orange glow of the one that is in her hand. Instead, they're green, looking like oversized gooseberries, or the colour that this one's wife goes whenever she sees a picture of Catherine, Princess of Wales, in her latest outfit. They're green. Green like the grass, green like the leaves, green like something that hasn't ripened yet. But hang on. How is it that she is able to find the one ripe apricot upon this tree? Perhaps it is as a consequence of her finely tuned green fingers that seek out this ripe piece of fruit. Well, if you look closer again, you'll notice that this apricot isn't even attached to the tree. It's nowhere near a branch or a stalk, which means that, yes, once again, this one's wife is engaging in chicanery. She's engaging in a fabrication. That apricot hasn't come from this tree, it's come from somewhere else, and in the ridiculous, deluded mind of this one's wife, what has she done? She has held up the apricot to the tree to make it look like she's plucking the apricot from the tree, but we can all see that it isn't attached to the tree, and even if you were to give her the benefit of the doubt and say, well, she might just have plucked it, how come there are no other ripe apricots on show? Because they're not ready yet. None of them are. And what she has gone and done is, as she has done in the past, she has purchased a shop-bought apricot, brought it to her house, and wanted to make it look like she collects apricots from her garden to then use in the jam. This is how ridiculous this one's wife is. Or perhaps I'm just completely cynical and mistaken, and she has a magic apricot tree which only has one ripe apricot amongst all the rest that she is able to find, and just so happens to have her picture taken as she plucks it. I would prefer the outcome that this is yet more performative action on the behalf of this mid-range type A narcissist, rather than it being a magic apricot tree. No doubt you'll furnish me with your views, as yet again this one's wife has been exposed. And how was she exposed? By her own behaviour, because she can't resist but putting this on Instagram, which, as I've told you so long ago, will be her downfall, and so it proves. I'm HG Tudor. Thank you for listening.